Welcome to the 7th episode of Belgian Taste Testers. This is going to be a special one, filled with an assortment of spectacular food items. Recently, we went on a small holiday and we took a trip to the city of Tilburg in the Netherlands. Of course, we also had to eat while we were there, and one of those evenings in Tilburg, we had dinner at Koi Sushi and Grill, an Asian all-you-can-eat concept in the center of the city. We can tell you that we really enjoyed the food and atmosphere at this charming little restaurant. You do have to get a reservation for this place, as it's always pretty busy. We do understand why it's so busy because the food is phenomenal. Expect high scores on all of the food and also for the restaurant itself. That being said, let's get into the video.
We score each dish and the restaurant itself on a scale of 5. Instead of stars, we use a scale of pakjes friet. That's what we call a serving of fries in Flemish.
Before we can finally get to the food, we need to explain one more thing. The restaurant works with an app to order dishes for your table. First, you scan a QR code on your smartphone so you can get into the app. Then you can take a look at the extensive menu and order 1 to 3 little dishes per round for each person at your table. You can have as many rounds as you want within a period of 3 hours on weekdays and 2.5 hours during the weekends. The menu is quite extensive, so plenty of delicious dishes to choose from. So first up, we have tasty salmon and tuna nigiris. The fish on these nigiris was super fresh and the taste is what you would expect from a nigiri. Now some of the toppings look a bit different on the menu, but on this plate we have 4 California rolls, 2 salmon and cream cheese rolls, 2 spicy tuna crab rolls, 1 salmon temaki, and 1 tuna temaki. The next plate has some makis. 3 with salmon and fish roe, and 3 with tuna and avocado. Then some unusual sushi rolls that contain meat or veggies instead of fish. We have 2 rolls with marinated ribeye steak, 4 chicken rolls, 2 sweet veggie rolls, and 2 gimbabs with ribeye. All of these items were top of the line and really delicious.
We love these dishes. We gave these 5 pakjes friet.
Now we will have some delicious meat dishes. The first one being this dish. That has to have been the dish of the month because we couldn't find it anywhere on the menu. We believe this was some fantastic sliced pork roast in a meat sauce with some spring onions sprinkled on top. The sauce was slightly sweet and had a very umami taste. The meat itself was tender and just perfectly prepared. Next up is this very tasty fried tenderloin. The meat was so tender it almost melted in your mouth. Covered in an incredible sauce that had some soy sauce and garlic in it. It's the kind of dish you could just keep eating. Also here's some spring onions sprinkled on top. Very nice. Here we have some chicken skewers. They were definitely fresh made, not some of those standard deep freeze skewers that they serve in a lot of places. Fresh, delicious pieces of chicken on a stick. They were marinated in a sort of teriyaki sauce and sprinkled with a mix of sesame seeds. We really liked these little skewers. Then we had the beef skewers. The meat was a little bit tougher than the tenderloin we showed earlier, but still very soft and delicious to eat. They were covered in some Japanese mayonnaise with some garlic flakes sprinkled on top. Packed full of flavor and perfectly prepared. Now we have come to a dish that they call beef hot plate. Very thinly sliced slivers of beef with some fine slices of onion. Served with a salty soy-based sauce on the side. It was served on the hot plate, another very tasty dish. This dish was called seasoned chicken. It was a little bit spicy and very salty. We think it was just flavored with some chili flakes and a lot of salt. It was a bit dry, but the flavors worked really well on these strips of chicken. Next up, these strips of chicken schnitzel. It was definitely a lighter Asian style of schnitzel. The meat was tasty, tender, and packed full of flavor. The crust had a very nice texture and added some crunch. It was served with a mayonnaise-based dipping sauce that had some nice herbs in it. Here we see a nice piece of fillet steak. It was nicely seasoned, a little bit chewy, and served with a hot yellow sauce that had some peppercorns in it. There was also some arugula on the side, very delicious. These were the meat dishes, and we loved each and every one of them. They were very tasty, and all of them were perfectly prepared.
These dishes were so delicious. These dishes get 5 pakjes friet.
Here we have some fried udon noodles. This was a more modest dish, but packed with flavor. Next to the noodles, it had some onions, some bell peppers, some bean sprouts, and some spring onions sprinkled on top. This dish consists of fish in a sweet and sour sauce. It had some small pieces of bell peppers and onion in the sauce. The sauce itself was a perfect, slightly tangy, sweet and sour sauce. Some spring onions sprinkled on top, just really nice little fish dish. Here we have a chicken bun. A soft rice bun with slightly spicy strips of chicken inside of it. This might be a simple dish, but it was exquisitely done. A very nice dish. Then we had a shrimp bun. Another soft rice bun, but this one had some beautiful, crunchy, fried shrimp inside of it. It also had some crispy lettuce and some kind of a tartar sauce inside of the bun. A simple kind of dish that doesn't look like much, but definitely delivered on flavor. Here we have a couple of fried chicken shumai skewers. Deep fried chicken shumai dumplings on a stick. We love shumais, and these ones were no different. So tasty. Then we had some chicken dumplings. They had a very flavorful filling and were served with some soy sauce as a dip. An Asian classic. We also had some mini spring rolls. Not that much we can say about these, except that they were freshly made and super tasty. They were served with a tasty chili sauce. All of these dishes were also really tasty and got the top score.
All of these dishes were super tasty. We gave these 5 pakjes friet.
Now we have come to the desserts, and these were also surprisingly delicious. Here we have some fried banana, just deep fried pieces of banana in a batter, a light drizzle of chocolate sauce, and plenty of powdered sugar on top. A delicious scoop of vanilla ice cream. Plain and simple, great dessert. These are some apple dumplings. Just apple in a gyoza-like batter, served with milky dipping sauce. Kinda crazy combo, but it was pretty tasty. Fresh fruit in coconut milk. A light and delicious treat for after a heavy dinner. A crème brûlée. A delicious French dessert. The crispy burnt sugar on top makes this a tasty classic. All the desserts were delicious and also get the maximum score.
These dishes get 5 pakjes friet.
Some people finish with a coffee, but we had a porn star martini instead. Cheers! So what did we score this fantastic restaurant in the center of Tilburg?
We scored the restaurant itself 5 pakjes friet.
We have come to the end of the video. Koi Sushi and Grill is an absolute must when you're in Tilburg. We really recommend this place. All the food was fantastic and we would definitely eat here again.
If you enjoyed this video, then please leave us a like and subscribe to the channel.
And if you're already subscribed, then we thank you for your support.
We want to thank you all for watching, and we will see you on the next episode of Belgian Taste Testers.